For 2 days, our union's elected leadership met one-on-one with the candidates who have expressed an interest in being governor of this great state. This was a monumental meeting for us, a first ever that had the kind of interaction, the number of leadership involved in the process, a long discussion. And all candidates were given the full opportunity to attend this session. One candidate, when it was all over and done with, stood out above the rest. Speaker of the House, Margaret Anderson Kelleher, is that candidate. We believe that Speaker Kelleher has proven leadership skills and has demonstrated her ability to manage the state in difficult times, and that she is the strongest candidate for governor. This union, with this endorsement, is committing boots on the street.
I think the last 2 days are groundbreaking because I'm sort of active in MAPE, but I'm not really political. I pay attention to issues as they come up, deal with it at the time that it comes up, but not an ongoing interest in politics. But as this conference is bringing forward, you have to acknowledge that your job as a state employee is a political job.
We're doing an Elect Your Boss campaign to get other members of the union involved. And this is basically the kickoff of that campaign. And we have leaders from our union. They're all here today. And we're interviewing gubernatorial candidates. And we're going to see if we can come up with a consensus on who it is that we should endorse.
This is historic. We have never done anything like this before. We have our PAC, we have our Government Relations Committee, our board, and our statewide officers all in the same room interviewing these candidates.
What we're doing is screening all the candidates, and we're doing a process I like to call speed dating, where we're having groups of MAPE members sit at tables, and the candidates are coming around and speaking to each of us individually, and spending about 12 or 15 minutes with each one. And we've got some very specific questions we can ask them, or if members at the table have questions that they just want to bring up as individuals, they can do that.
And it was focused on things that we really care about: electability, campaign structure, finances, can they win, what's their message, how do they react to what happened in the last session, what's their vision and future for the state of Minnesota.
At this point, a lot of the candidates have not been on TV yet, have not been on radio. We don't know a lot about them yet, and so really to get an opportunity to meet with them one-on-one, to ask our specific questions, has, I think, really added a lot to the debate of who we may or may not support in this race.
I was very pleased that we had a bipartisan representation. We had Patricia Anderson, who joined us, who is a Republican candidate for governor, which I think is very important for some of our members, because I think sometimes people think that we only support people from the DFL party, which is not true at all. We have endorsed other party candidates, and the position that our union takes is that we support candidates that support our union, the candidate that will work the best for the state of Minnesota, for the citizens, and for us as state employees.
We're really in a unique position as state employees. We get to help have a say in who we're negotiating across the table from for our next contract. After
20 years of government that bashes state employees, that doesn't value the services we provide, doesn't value the expertise, has increasingly politicized state agencies, it is the most important election in our lifetimes, because I think we're at a real Y in the road.
People joke about this always being the most important election of their lifetime, but seeing as how it's been quite a while since we've had a labor-friendly governor, and being a state employee who works directly for the governor, we want to have somebody in there that will support state employees, and maybe even actually believe in the work that government does would be a good thing too.
As much as we don't want to say we're political, we work for government. So that in itself makes it important for us to be a part of this process. And for us to speak up, not to just complain about the candidate who's in office, but for us to take a stand on those we'd like to see emerge as our leader.
The more people that give us their feedback and their input, the better the process will be. There's just never anything wrong with having more people involved.
This is the best event that I've ever attended that MAPE's put on. It was well thought out. It was completely transparent.
These kinds of things matter, and this process specifically, I thought, was well thought out by individuals who know the importance of getting input to make sure that people's wishes and priorities are that we're taking all of that into consideration.
I'm very fired up about this whole process. I look forward to sharing what it is that we've done here in the last 2 days, and I can't wait to get everybody involved.
The opportunity to talk directly with MAPE membership was so important because they got to ask questions, follow up on questions, probe very hard on things, and I think that's important as well in this.
We need to build a people-powered campaign in this campaign for governor. And MAPE adds significantly to that people-powered campaign that we are already building. I can just tell you that we have a humming office every single day of the week with volunteers, and these good folks are going to come and be added to that. And that is going to be a terrific addition for us.